back to a cultural spotlight on IUM Radio 94.5 FM, where we where we just basically shine a light on the incredible talent and the rich culture that makes our country truly unique. And I'm your ultimate dragon from the future, John Uirab, and today we have something special lined up just for you. Now we are about to dive into an exclusive interview with one of Namibia's rising stars and an artist whose work is on not only making waves in the local scene, but it's also putting Namibia on the global map. Now we are talking about someone whose music, creativity, and passion truly just embodies the spirit of our people. Now, so get comfortable and stay tuned as we chat about their journey, their inspirations, and what's next for them in the world of Namibian music. Now, trust me, you don't want to miss this one, yeah? If you are feeling a little bit covered, don't worry, we got you covered with some great music and good conversation. Of course, now speaking about good conversation, we are joined by the man, the legend himself in studio right now. This is Jyz Yorke, all the way from the region of excellence, hailing from the town of Omaruru. Good morning, Omes Mesa.
Good morning. All good, man. How are you?
I'm doing amazing, man. The weather is, it's doing, yeah.
The weather is on point.
Yeah, it's on point, I mean. But of course, tell us about your journey as an artist, and how did you, first discover your passion for art, and what inspired you to pursue it professional. But before you also get done, just tell us your name and then a little bit of background about yourself.
So the name is actually Jyz Yorke, but some people do pronounce it as Jyz Yorke, but yeah, because it actually comes from Yorke, my other name. So how I discovered the art was through I grew up in church. I was raised in a Christian home, so I grew up playing instruments, piano, guitar, and that's just how I fell in love with music. And later on decided to do it professionally. That's when I started doing like Christian rap, and then from Christian rap I moved to what you're hearing now. So yeah, it has been quite a journey.
It has been quite a journey.
Yes.
All right, now Namibia has such a rich cultural heritage and a diverse landscapes. Now, how have these elements influenced your work and creative expression?
Like I said, I started in church, and then from there I moved to hip hop. I started with hip hop music, and I felt like doing hip hop music, I was not really being myself. I felt like I was not really being Namibian enough, or just myself, because I know I'm a young boy that grew up in the dance.
What you were giving at the moment was just not giving.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling myself.
Okay.
So and even the people, most of the time people were like, bro, is this really your song? Because the songs were sounding so good and so American. So I decided to start tapping into my Namibian roots. That's when I produced a song called Konganda, which is like a big band inspired song. It's like old school vibe. And when I did that song, I tapped into my Herero background, and I was sampling old songs from back in the days, So culture, our Namibian culture is so strong and so diverse. We have so much to tap into. Right now, where I'm at right now is the Namadama culture and the Ngu culture. That's where I'm sampling from. That's where I'm pulling from. I'm in love with the clicks. I'm in love with the Namnos.
Okay.
Yeah, it really speaks to my soul. I'm not gonna lie. The Namnos, the clicks, the Kwekwe language. It's really speaking to my soul, and that's where I am. And that's where I'm pulling from. In terms of my music and inspiration. So yeah.
Now, as an emerging artist here, what challenges have you faced in the Namibian art scene, and how have you managed to overcome them? Can you describe your artistic process in that as well?
The challenges I faced, like I already said, it was standing out, standing out in a group of artists.
It's not quite an easy industry, to break through. Yeah.
I feel the most challenging thing for me was finding myself, and not just finding myself, but being comfortable with being me, being comfortable with being Jyz Yorke or Jyz Yorke, or just being me, It's not really easy just to get up and be yourself, and I feel that's one thing that was holding me back in the industry, because I couldn't stand out, because I wasn't being myself. I was being a copy of someone else, So in that time, like when I started doing like music, I was inspired by Lecrae, NF, and I guess like that's who I was sounding like, and that's where I was pulling my inspiration from.
Basically, we are resembling somebody else.
Yes, like I was a carbon copy of someone else, and I wasn't being myself. But yeah, right now I feel like I've tackled that challenge. Like, just look at the way.
But you're actually content about where you are right now.
I'm very happy. Just look at the way I'm dressed.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Yeah.
Just look at the way I'm dressed. Like, I already
it's giving Heritage Week.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, bro. Heritage Week.
Yeah.
Heritage, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Always wear my Namibian cap, my Namastab drip, you know. So, I'm very happy with myself right now, yeah.
Now, do you actually have a specific mediums, or what techniques or methods, do you typically use to bring your vision to life?
Like my vision as in like when I'm creating my music.
Yeah.
So basically, I feel like music is so broad, and like when it comes to creating music, I don't try to limit myself. I don't try to have a routine. You understand? The only routine is never stop creating. That's my routine. Every day, I try to create one song. Yeah, that's what I do. Every single day, create one song.
Now, I mean, how do lyrics, come about new songs, Is it like maybe when you are just sitting lonely, or when do actually these things fall in?
So basically, funny enough, like for me, what I do is I get ideas like from, I don't know from where they come from. But I think it's just a thing of like, I've been doing it so long, I do get ideas in my head, and then once I get those ideas, let's say like I get like a melody, right? Or like a line. Yeah, that's where it starts. Then I take my phone, I quickly record a voice note, right? And then I leave it there, right? And then once I'm in the studio, or once I'm in my bedroom studio, or once I'm on my laptop with my piano, I try to play what I recorded. Yeah. So like, if you know Pharrell Williams, do you know Pharrell Williams, the guy that made that song? 'Cause I'm happy come along.
Oh yeah.
He's also a producer, right? He's one guy that I've really like been listening to. Like what he said was, like, when you get a hit song, then it's not something that comes from you. It's something that comes from God,
Okay.
Yeah, right. So you do it so many times that one day you just receive that idea that's like, wow, how did I come up with that? Like that Nama Dama Akase. To be honest, like I was just in my room, I just took a sample from YouTube of Namastab, like people dancing to Namastab.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, cool, what am I gonna do next? I play some chords, okay, cool. I got some chords, and then I was like, okay, the first word, I'm feeling like Hendrik, but I'm dancing like Jackson. Oh, bro, it's going, After that, it's done. That's how you come up with.
Because I always wonder. This is what I always ask them if I sit down with artists, musicians and stuff like that. I always ask them like, do you guys sit and force yourselves, the lyrics
like exactly no.
Like, or does it just flow naturally? Does it just come in?
Yeah. So like music is nature, right? Music is like nature. When you look at the waves, right, tossing back and forth in the ocean, nobody is coming to say, okay, flow like this and flow like that, right? The waves flow by themselves.
The motion, it flows, the speed, it flows.
The ebb and flow of the ocean is not controlled by anyone. No one tells the birds, yo, fly like this or do that. So same way when you're creating music, right, you don't want it to sound unnatural. So you don't force it. You just let it flow. If it's not flowing in that moment, I basically just say, okay, fine. At least I came up with an idea, and I'm gonna come back to it another day when it can flow. So we never force. We never force songs. Yeah. Now
that you mentioned about Gonkanda, the song, you did. I saw you worked with Herero artists on that one as well, and then you said that you are also tackling about you tackled on your Herero background. Now I love that you mentioned about that, and then now the song about Namatamara. Now you are now working with let me say with various traditions or cultures right now. Namibia is not home to so many unique stories now and traditions. Now, how do you incorporate elements of Namibian culture, history, or even just the social issues into your art?
So basically, I try to tell cultural stories. I try to tell like stories of my people. Like that song Konganda is a song about it's basically a song about a troubled youth, right? A young person that has been living in a city, and they were so like this person got engulfed, né? Or they got swallowed by the city life so much that they forgot their roots, right? So this person is like, no man, I'm tired of the city life. I'm tired of forgetting my culture.
So let me go back home, type of thing.
Yes, let me go back home to my roots. Understand? So the way I like incorporate culture is like by telling the stories of our people in the language of our people. Understand? So that's why I even had to get like an artist like China Newman, which is my sister, actually my own sister.
Okay.
And my own cousin, which is Alex. So he's also a great artist. He plays guitar and he plays a trumpet with his mouth. So like even when I feature artists, I just don't feature any kind of artist. Like I try to feature an artist that complements my style. This artist should really be different from what I am doing, you understand?
Okay.
There should be like a polar difference. So yeah,
two different elements can come together to create one.
Exactly. Opposites attract.
Yeah. Now who are some of the artistic influences, both locally and internationally?
So internationally, let me start with international. My international influence should be Kanye West. Yeah.
Kanye West.
Yes.
I mean, now that you mentioned Kanye West, it actually makes sense because I remember when you had an interview at Touch FM somewhere last year. Was it September, October?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was also featured on TV. So that's when I that's when I first saw you. I'm like, okay, where's this artist? I'm like, okay, get into it, John.
Yeah.
Into it. So I was like, now it's making sense. The drip.
Yeah.
Drip.
Definitely, yeah. Like Kanye West is a free thinker. He's somebody that is creative. He's not afraid to express his creative freedom. And once I started listening to his music and his interviews, I started like understanding that you should never limit your mind in what you can do, and you should never let anyone tell you what you can do. Because like Kanye West was first a producer, and then he became a rapper. Understand? So I was first a rapper, and now I became a producer. Understand? So yeah, that's.
Did you become like from a producer to a rapper now? The transition between the two. Were you inspired by Kanye West, or did it just come naturally? Or you just found yourself in the similar situation? You're like,
yes. I found myself in a similar situation, and I was like, oh, cool. So somebody actually also did this. Understand? But for him, it was vice versa. He was first a producer, then he became a rapper. But for me, I was first a rapper, and then I became a producer while I was still like an artist. So locally, I am inspired. Is it only one artist I can mention?
No. You have a whole. You can even mention 50. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Number one, I'll start with the producer. He's a late producer, Arafat. Yes, like he really inspires me. I feel like people really don't appreciate producers. Cause for me, like when I was looking at producers, I was like, he's just a producer, But like when I spent time with Arafat, and I actually got time to spend with him, I even got the opportunity to work with him on like 3 beats, right?
Okay.
So when I was working with him, I saw that the producer is not just somebody that's just making a beat, He's actually directing the whole song. Like if you listen to Jericho's old albums, you would really hear like how much of a genius Arafat was.
The sounds that were
like the sound and the direction of the song. You'll always hear like Jericho coming with a little bit of Tamara here, Van Neck throwing some like rhymes and all that, and like the energy was just different. So yeah, for me it's Arafat, obviously, like as the producer. Number 2, I would say Jericho. Jericho was like one of my biggest influence, As I was growing up, I used to rap his lyrics, I used to perform his songs at school when I was like still coming up. Jericho, this one will be very controversial, but yeah, Tate Puti is like one of my I wouldn't say my inspiration.
Why are you saying that everybody's going to be controversial?
Because he's obviously different from what I'm doing.
Okay.
So it's not like.
But it's all about the inspiration, man, that comes.
Do you know, like, the thing I love about Dadebody is like the creativity, like the crossing of boundaries. You know, like Dadebody is a Ovambo artist, but like he does Damara Punch, and he has been appreciating Damara Punch, and he does it flawlessly. He doesn't even need to try to sing Damara for his song to sound like a Damara Punch song, you know. So like that's what I love about him, like the creativity, the energy that never runs out, the flows, like
the versatility, not just to fit in.
Like, just imagine how old is that Dadebody, but like look at how fresh that guy's flow is, bruh. So like that's one artist that I really like wanna emulate as well, and that's one artist that I would like to work with actually as well.
Right.
So
Now, how have they shaped your style of approach of art? Like, how have those people changed your style of approach of art, or what role do you think art plays in society, especially in Namibia?
Number one, Arafat has taught me that like you need to incorporate your culture into your music. Like this thing that I'm doing now, like there are more songs that you're gonna hear, that are influenced by Arafat. Like for example, Konganda, yes, that one was influenced by Arafat.
Okay.
Yes, like the production style, like instead of putting the kick, where it's supposed to be, you put it somewhere where it's not supposed to be. That's Arafat, You put the clap where it's not supposed to be. Like you take your local language and then you sing in that. I believe that's Arafat that started with that. Like maybe there may have been other producers that started it, but Arafat for me is the one that executed it, and he's the one that that pioneered that whole journey of being local. So that's how Arafat has basically influenced my perspective. It's cool to be a Namibian. It's cool to be yourself, And moving on, obviously Jericho, man. Like Jericho is like all about being raw, all about being kasi, all about being cool, man. But like in a Namibian way, like as much as he has like a 2-pack flow and all that, it still sounds Namibian. Like
it's a relatable.
Yeah, like you relate to it, like you really feel the genuineness. Yeah.
Now, how do you just navigate the balance between creating art for personal expression and creating art that resonates with your audience?
Yeah, man, that's actually a good one. So like, when you're a producer, or like when you're producing music on your own, you have the freedom to create what you want, obviously. But then as you are producing different songs, like what I do is I put out different sounds, right? Like right now I put out Keseda Ngamtu and I put out Outere. No, first I put out Gan is like a gospel Damara hip hop kind of vibe. So that one is more like a personal kind of artistic approach, right? Like you are doing music, I'm doing music for myself, right? But then when I put out songs like Keseda Ngamtu, I realized like, people are actually loving these songs, and this is a song like, or these are songs that people can dance to, So like now I can clearly differentiate between like the music that people can dance to and enjoy, and music that people can just like relax to, listen and appreciate the art for art's sake,
For art's sake.
Yeah.
For art's sake. Now, all right. Now, this the one that we ask usually, that's like a usual question, but there seems to be a growing interest in African and Namibian art on the global stage. Now, how do you just see this trend influencing your career and the future of the local artists?
Yeah, that's actually true, man. I see like since the world is a global market, obviously, like you see how people are interested in African Africanism and African art. For example, you can look at Beyonce, Chris Brown. They are really interested in this sound, and I feel like this is an opportunity for us as artists to be more African than ever, than we've ever been. Like we should pull up our socks and just be ourselves and tell our African stories and not be afraid to speak in our accents and speak in the way that we usually do, speak in our slangs, So I feel like this creates a better opportunity for us, So be
now,
yourself.
when you're saying the accent, something comes to my mind, and I want to know, like an African accent, or like, let's particularly talk about a Damara accent, like an African accent or Damara accent itself, like.
Yeah.
Like which one between those two now? For you, like which one?
Well, for me, I think like I don't really have an African accent precisely. Like I have different accents. I think
you have an American accent.
Yes. But still,
Okay, no, I get you.
It's not that American, like to the point where, like there was a time when I would speak out, I would literally like roll my tongue. It was that bad. You know what I'm saying?
Influenced by what now?
I grew up on American shows and American TVs and stuff so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, all right. Now, lastly, what advice would you give, to any other young artists in Namibia who are just starting their creative journeys, especially, in a competitive and often unfunded industry like this one?
Yeah, man. This industry is not easy, like you're saying right there. So, to any artist that's listening to this, especially my boys and my people that are coming up, just be yourself, Just don't be afraid to be yourself. I feel like people fall in love easily with you when you are just yourself, when you're genuine. People can feel energy, people can feel genuineness. Like, you don't really have to force things. Just be yourself. As much as you need to be a brand, as much as you need to put up an image, let that image be yourself as well. So don't sell something that you aren't.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I mean, I've seen, and I've schooled with a couple of boys from Omaruru that are also trying to, get into the music industry, the likes of Ayas, always, it just slipped my mind, Arafat from Omaruru.
Yes, Ayas.
Ayas, yeah. I mean, like, would you, just convey just the same message to him?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like a lot of the young artists, but I actually know Ayas personally. I know him, like, he's really doing well for himself right now. My advice to him would just be like, my advice to him and all the other young artists would be like, guys, try to pull away a bit from Amapiano and Afropop. Yeah, just try to do something else. Because, obviously, if you look at the Amapiano market and the Afropop market, it's so saturated right now. Look at Nigeria alone. How many songs is Nigeria alone producing? How many Afropop songs? So for you to be doing Afropop music here in Namibia and to be popping, you must either be like a Jyz or like a popular name in order for people to pay attention to you. Or your song must be really good. So, yeah.
Alright, there you got it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and non-conforming as well. Time of the clock is 51 minutes past 11 p.m. and we overlap with our interview. But that is, of course, having a good conversation right here, just to make sure that Namibians out there are not feeling a bit trouble on this beautiful Saturday, of course. Thank you so much for joining us right now in studio today, That was, Yorke, I'll just come from a Oshirero perspective, man.
No problem.
Talking to us about his journey, and we see you, man. We see you keep pushing. I hope, you get a lot of performing gigs, and then you just push yourself out there,
definitely.
and grow as a brand, grow as an individual, and then just put out more music for the Namibians out there.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity. IUM Radio and Uirab. Tango.
Sure.